Hello, Raptors fans, and welcome back to Raptors Report. I'm your host, Julian, and with me, as always, is Steve. We've changed the layout a little bit. We're using a different streaming software, so if that's why it looks a little different, you understand why. But welcome back to the podcast. We've got a bunch of really awesome topics to talk about today. Steve, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm just basking in the glow of the third seed. I don't know about you, but it's been a long time since we've been up here.
I know it's like, I think basically the only time the Toronto Raptors are like the third seed is when their record is like 1-0
Yeah,
or 1-1 or whatever, and they're
tied with
just tied
16.
with
Yeah,
five other teams or whatever. So this late in the season, having a record that good is impressive. Like, I am kind of like over the moon about it.
yeah,
I don't know if this is like for real, but right now it doesn't have to be completely for real. It could be like maybe they're like a fifth or a sixth or even in the play-in, but I'll take it. I am definitely super pumped to be watching this team win games
yeah,
and convincingly, like winning in all different types of games.
yeah,
I'm just super happy about it.
yeah. This last game was the first like close win that they really had to pull out.
That's right. And the thing is that like that happens. Like a lot of the time when people talk about their team and they see the competition and they're like, oh, it's the Hornets. They should be destroying these guys. That's not how the NBA works. Like,
Yeah,
when you average out all of a team's wins and losses and like look at their net rating, usually the net rating is like what, like 2 or 3 points. Like,
yeah,
even the worst teams don't have a net rating that's too far down, right?
yeah,
That means that they lose their games by average of like, a couple of points.
yeah.
That's playing against the good teams, that's playing against the bad teams. And some of the games you're going to win and you're not going to feel like incredibly happy about it. You're going to be beating up on a team that's 4-10 now.
Yeah,
The Raptors are 9-5, and it's not going to look super pretty. But if you look at it from the other perspective, where like the Hornets, it felt like they were in the game until the end.
yeah,
And then the older team just kind of did a bunch of things in a row
yeah.
that snatched the victory away from them.
They really slammed the door. Yeah,
How often has that happened when the Raptors are the younger team and
honestly, yeah,
they are in the game and you're like, oh, they could do it. They could actually beat this, good team.
yeah,
And then the other team just kind of locks in and stacks stops and stacks scores. And then the game is over and you lose. And,
yeah.
you're wondering where things went wrong. That's
For the
kind of
last,
what, yeah,
we've been the king of the fake comeback for like the last
exactly.
2 years, whatever, right? So it gets really exciting. We're almost there, but yeah.
You can't quite get reach the top of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good that the Toronto Raptors are winning that way too, because obviously they're going to face adversity. I mean, they've had a pretty softball schedule the past couple of games,
Yeah,
but like when the schedule turns difficult, you're not going to want to, you're going to have a couple of games where you're tested and
exactly.
you were put through your paces and you can actually show that you can win in that type of environment, right? If everything is not going right and there's a bit of panic and the ball's a little slipperier and, the hoop is looking smaller, can you still squeak it out? Can you
Yeah,
still like get all the stops? Can you still get the clutch buckets? And they were able to do that. I mean, and the Hornets impressed me too. Like
yeah,
that was this amazing game from Con Kneppel.
yeah. He
The
has
guy
been
is a baller.
balling. Yeah,
I was super impressed with him, and not just with the shooting. Like he like when I was scouting him and like seeing him play, I was like, oh, this guy is going to be able to come in and like be a role player and know how to play the game and pitch in a bunch of different areas, and he'll be able to shoot. Like, he ticks a bunch of boxes, right?
yeah,
What I didn't see was the upper level for him. Like,
yeah,
I didn't see that he could be a guy who takes like over 10 shots a game
yeah,
and is a featured member of your team while maintaining that efficiency. That was
yeah.
like oh,
Yeah.
okay, this guy's a little bit more special than I thought.
Well, the first con game that I really locked into last year was when Cooper was like slightly hurt. So they
Right.
sat him for the one game, and he just like filled in no problem.
Yeah,
And
he just ran
same level of
things.
playmaking. And then there was one play that really like sold me on him, just IQ wise. His teammate, I don't know if it was like Zion James or whatever, but they were falling out of bounds, and Con grabbed his shorts and kept him in bounds. And
That's
it
like a
was,
Jokic move.
yeah, it was so cool and so smart. And I was like, okay, this guy's got a brain. Like, and yeah, he really, it looks like between him, Cockbrenner,
Yeah,
who
they nailed this draft for
they
sure.
really did. And it's because
Sion
they,
James as well has been good for them too.
exactly. And it's
And
because they replaced their scouting staff, as far as I know, right? They kind of cleaned house with that, and these new guys are hitting it out of the park.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But we enough about the Hornets. I know it's like, what is a Hornets report? Anyway, we're going to talk about the Toronto Raptors because there's so much to talk about. So let me give you a rundown of some of the topics that we'll be discussing. Number one, the Raptors are the 3rd seed. Number two, Scotty's whistle. We're going to be talking about that because that should be controversial. We should be up in Adam Silver's grill demanding answers. Another thing, RJ Barrett struggles as of late. Steve is going to break down Scotty's case for DPOY this season. And I'm going to highlight something that I've been raving about, which is Ingram's interior defense. And there'll probably be some other things mixed in there too. But why don't we start off just talking about the 3rd seed? So the Toronto Raptors, like, they have just like exploded over the past like 10 games or so, 8-2 record. And I think a lot of it is just them taking care of business, beating the teams that they should beat. And then the games where they are playing against higher level competition, the offense, I feel like the offense is carrying them in those spots where they're a tough team to stop.
Yeah.
And then the defense, it locks in against those bad teams. Like the bad teams can't beat Scotty and Pirtle and even Ingram in the paint. Like it's just tough for them.
Yeah, and they are miles ahead where they were those first couple games on defense.
Way better. And they changed some stuff for sure. Like the defense looks a lot like more measured. The first couple of games were just too frenetic. They were too all over the place.
Yeah.
And they were doing like they were blind doubling every like couple of possessions.
Yeah.
They were getting like lost on screens. They were sending you to the ball way too often. These days it looks like they're a little bit more under control. So I appreciate that. Let's take a look at like the standings just really quickly. I did this in the video today. If you guys watched that, I quickly looked at the standings, but the Toronto Raptors have beaten the team above them, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the team below them, the Atlanta Hawks, beat those teams twice, both of them twice.
Yeah.
So that's good. What I'm kind of worried about is the upcoming matchup, is the team that might take their place in this current spot, which is the Philadelphia 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
If they lose to the Sixers tomorrow, they'll be flipped around, basically. The Sixers will go up. They're at 8-5 right now. The Raptors will fall to 9-6, so they'll have the better record. And I'm kind of concerned about that game. It seems like the Sixers have had the Raptors number for a while now. And what do you think about that matchup with Pirtle coming back?
Well, I mean, for one, Embiid is questionable, which I think helps the Sixers. They play different when Embiid's not in the court. They play faster. They play through their guards more because Embiid, still talented and everything, but he's not the same. And he has to have everything a bit more slowed down for him. He's just not a premier superstar currently as he is, but it changes the way that they play their offense. So them not having Embiid in kind of makes them a more dangerous team to us. So that might work against us. And I just really like Tyrese Maxey has just been frying us for years. He's like
good.
32 point per game right now. I think he's easily in contention for top 2, maybe top 1 point guard in the East right now, because he's just been so insane. And maybe this will work against them, Paul George being back.
Yeah, I was thinking when you were saying Embiid, I'm like, maybe it's more about PG3.
Yeah.
He is just, I don't know, like his past couple of seasons, he started to look washed, especially the debacle when they got him. And he's looking like one of the worst contracts in the league. But he is, maybe he can show something. I'm not exactly completely over him, but I'm definitely, if I were a Sixers fan, I'd be like absolutely petrified that he's completely washed.
Yeah. I mean, and Embiid's new deal hasn't even started, right? So he's about to make like $60 million a year until 2028 or 2029 or something. So as many good things as are happening for the Sixers, they have some major dead weight in that sense. But
it also seems, that's what I was going to say is that, it seems good for them.
Yeah.
But in concentrated into one spot. Like it seems like VJ Edgecombe, they've got
Jared McCain,
Grimes, they've got Maxey. All of those guys seem like they should be getting, major minutes.
Yeah.
Obviously with Nick Nurse, they are getting major minutes, but like once they're all healthy and once they're all playing, like it seems like they should try and package one of those guys with maybe Embiid or maybe Paul George or something. See if they can get back like a rotation player at a different position.
Yeah, free themselves up, right? Like, I mean, they could maybe make some kind of deal with Utah to get Laurie and send a big contract down there with them, right? If they can add a pick or something, whatever tickles Ainge's fancy, right?
I mean, it would have to probably, like the way Markkanen is playing, it would have to be like Edgecombe. I'm thinking because what are they going to, McCain is not quite to that level. But
Ainge loves picks. If you could throw some picks in there and you can convince them on something else. It's funny, like they've drafted so many guards like Utah and they have like some decent players, but like even Quentin Grimes would probably be their best guard if you sent him down there right away. But
I am not buying the hype around their starting point guard right now. What's his name?
Is it Keontae George?
Yeah, Keontae George.
Yeah.
Like he was horrible last season. He's not a very good defender. And
he's kind of feast or famine. Like he's
averaging 22 points, and you're like, oh, okay, that's great. And 7 assists. That sounds pretty good. The guy is shooting 41% from the field and 27% from 3.
Jeez.
He is just jacking up shots. So
he's got the greenest light and just yeah.
Okay, so we've gotten off topic like 15 times already.
Well, the matchup with Philly anyway. Yes, it scares me. I don't expect another Trendon Watford masterclass, so there's that. And Ingram has been locking in defensively, so there's kind of, if he's guarding PG, cool. Neutralize. Who cares?
I don't think that PG has the foot speed to really abuse Ingram's weaknesses, which is his foot speed too. But Trendon Watford, the guy is like super efficient right now, but I think that having Yak back is going to really make his he's like an undersized big that likes to, like he's an energy guy.
Yeah.
And centers are the solution to that type of player. Yeah. So I'm excited to see how they do against the 76ers.
Yeah.
And then it's like home cooking for the Toronto Raptors for the next 5 games after that. They're at home. So I think they're locked in. I think that they could go on a big run here, and getting a win against Philadelphia would be like, okay, maybe this team is legit.
That would be very convincing. And that would probably get a lot more buy-in from the skeptics about it, because there are elements of fool's gold to a couple of their wins, right? For sure. I would consider both the Atlanta wins to be very real, because they've been they were missing Trey's second game, whatever. They've been better without Trey. Right?
Exactly. That's what
beating them, that's a great win.
The second Cavs win was a legit win.
Yep. And
the first one was Fugazi, but
it was. But Cavs are whatever they are, 10-5
now. Yeah.
10-5 with barely having Darius Garland anyway. So it's they're still obviously a great team.
Yeah, they're still a good team.
So I feel like a win against the Sixers is Yeah, that would be very convincing
in their building too. Like
Yeah.
that would be a legit win. So
Yeah.
hopefully they can get that one. I'm not too optimistic.
Mhm.
I'm not going to be like super upset if they play
Yeah.
hard and lose. But let's move to the second topic here, which is Scotty's whistle. And this just came to the fore like in last night's game. He did not shoot a single free throw.
Yeah.
He was being guarded by Konkanippel like multiple times in the post, getting bumped, getting pushed around. There was that one thing where Bridges like smacked him in the hand after like on a loose ball play, no call. Like he didn't get any calls.
Yeah.
And it is so frustrating watching this guy. Let me throw some stats at you, okay? So he has attempting the highest number of his possessions at the rim this season. So 29% of his shots come at the rim. That's the highest of his career. His free throw attempt rate this season is the lowest of his career at 22%.
Make it make sense.
He's getting hacked. He's getting bumped. He's getting pushed around inside, and he's relentless attacking the basket.
Yeah.
It's just something doesn't add up here. And
he doesn't flop. He complains afterwards when he doesn't get the call, and people get on him for complaining. Yeah. But like, that's frustrating. Like, you're not smoking layups, you're getting hacked.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you look worse because you got hacked and you missed the shot. And so that shows up on the stat sheet.
Yeah.
When you get fouled and you miss a shot, it doesn't show up on the stat sheet. It is you get to shoot free throws or you get a side out of bounds. You don't get dinged up for that. And so the guy is watching, this rookie who he is much bigger than.
Yeah.
And the guy has to foul and push and do that kind of stuff. The guy should be rewarded. Yep. Last night's game was a travesty. And I don't talk about maybe I'll talk about the refs 1 in 5 games or something like that. Or like, I probably talk more than most media members about because they're trying to be professional and I'm not really. So on Twitter and on social media, I'll be like, these refs suck.
Yeah, and you're free from the shackles that they're stuck with. Yeah,
they're all like, odd calls tonight. Very strange officiating. Where it's like they're like winking and nodding at the audience, trying to say like the refs are garbage. I'll just come out and say it.
Yeah, I'm so blocked by the reffing Twitter account. They put out right after the whole Ben Taylor situation, they put out like a get to know Ben Taylor thing, and they were like, here's what Ben Taylor does when he gets home, whatever. And I commented with a poll and I said, like, do any of us care what Ben Taylor does when he gets home? And it was like 92% like no. And then I look and I'm blocked by the refs account. Sick. So but like he's what did I look up? He's about 6 to 6.5 drives per game, right? He's attacking the basket, about 1 free throw attempt out of 6 drives, which is on par. It's a worse percentage than somebody like Kyle Kuzma. It's on par with these guys who are shooters, who do not drive, who do not get physical. Makes no sense.
It's like, I get it. There are other guys on the team who draw fouls too, like RJ Barrett, like Ingram. Those guys are like, sure, you want to, call foul when you see it, but he should be getting more foul calls. And maybe he needs to take the Embiid route. Maybe he needs to be shameless and just fall to the ground.
Grifting. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But he can get hit in the face and he grabs his face and the ref just looks at him like, what's wrong with this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and they asked Darko about the free throw, whatever disparity between it, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to get fined again."
Do you want me to get fined? I think that a lot of it is that like his moves are good, like I think they're effective, but he lacks the elite like kind of grift moves. Yeah, where you put your arm like through the arm to take it up. That involves putting the ball down a lot of the time. Yeah. A lot of the time, like you have to like get into the body of the other player. And a lot of the time he's just going up straight with it. Yep. So like, I'm sure there are reasons that he's not getting it. Maybe it's the aesthetics, maybe it's something like that. But I am watching him get fouled. Yeah. Like I'm watching the other team bump into him, push him, move him. He's a big physical guy. So there's like the Dwight Howard effect where maybe you don't call as many fouls if it's like a small guy smacking a big guy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you really just have to call it fair and square. You can't be just applying the whistle unfairly and unevenly, which it was last night. It was just complete. Like Yak would be getting called for these touch fouls and like center stuff where like centers are allowed to play like a little bit more physically on the inside. If a center and another center bump into each other, you could call like 100 fouls a game if you call a foul on every one of the times the centers bump into each other. But they were calling crap like that. Then on the other end, they weren't calling anything for Scotty. So it was kind of like, I was just apoplectic. If they lost that game, I would have fully crashed out on Twitter.
I know. And then on his dunk there, they go to check if it touched like,
that was the rim. Crazy.
It's like, dude, he had like 10 seconds on the clock. Who cares?
There were literally, it was on the thing, on the free throw chart. It said 11, not the free throw, but the shot clock.
Yeah.
11. It was in the picture.
Yeah. What are you looking at?
This is 11 second post move.
Yeah.
That's not even allowed.
Just ridiculous all the way around. And then the game-winning block. They're like, oh, was it out of bounds? Was it? It's just a whole bunch of ridiculousness.
Looking for ways to grift the Raptors out, and unfortunately, they couldn't. Fortunately, they couldn't. Excuse me.
So how does he improve this? How does he get a fair whistle?
He's got to fall down more, I guess.
Yeah.
I think he's got to like hit the deck and do the thing that Embiid does, where if you hit Embiid on the front, he'll fall forwards.
Yeah.
If you hit him on the back, he'll like jump backwards.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like it's the opposite of the way he'll just like fall on his ass. Like he'll just literally like kick his legs out. Like if you were to imagine like jumping onto a couch, like you're like trying to relax. That's what he literally, he feels contact on his arm and he'll go like, he'll just kind of like, and like fall straight backwards. And then they'll give him the call. So Colosso X says, not fall down, go into the defender. Yeah, I talked about that a little bit, but yeah, he could definitely engage the contact a little bit more. But I feel like he does do that. I don't know.
Well, when he goes like chest to chest, he doesn't like, they bump him and he doesn't move versus like somebody who's lighter, whatever, right? Like Shea gets bumped, he's going flying, right? But Scotty doesn't. But like somebody like Paolo Banchero, now he has the number one pick shine on him, so he's going to get a better whistle based off of that. But he is bigger and heavier than Scotty, and when he goes to the line a lot, he's consistently top like 10 in free throw attempts. He's just better at getting the whistle because he always looks like he's going up with intention to score, and I think sometimes Scotty looks like he was going for the free throw when the ball kind of slips out of his hands a bit too early, something like that. And it just seems like the refs are like, no chance, buddy. Like,
I also think that like Paolo Banchero gets like cleaner breaks, like in terms of advantage. So if he has the ball and he uses his first step and gets past his defender, I think the refs are just like way more willing to call. And also there's like a lot more like reach in hacks where they try and like strip the ball after they get beat. That's an easy foul call. Whereas Scotty doesn't get the advantage as often. And so, but at the same time, like if you get fouled that way or versus getting fouled right at the rim, even like it should not be this disparate between what I'm seeing and what I'm expecting. Yeah. All right, let's move on to two kind of negative things in a row. We're going to be moving on to RJ Barrett's struggles over the past 5 games. So I posted on Twitter the meme. Well, it's not a meme, but like if you remember the old Looney Tunes where it's the sheepdogs who are going in and out of the they're going into their shift and pushing their punch card into the timer, and then one leaves and then the other one enters with the punch card timer. Yeah. That's basically what happened with Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett. So Emmanuel Quickley left his slump and RJ Barrett immediately entered a slump.
Clocking in for the slump. Yeah.
I know. And RJ has just been like not good the past 5 games. Let me throw some stats at you. Excuse me. So the past 5 games, he's averaging 16.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 1 turnover on 43% from the field, 24% from 3, and 63% from the line. And that is his previous 9 games. He was averaging 20.5 points per game. Same 5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 2 turnovers on 54% from the field, 39% from 3, and 73% from the free throw line. So, like, you just look at that and you say the efficiency is gone. Like, it is not there.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, the obvious thing here is that he's entered a shooting slump from 3, which is, that happens. Players go through that kind of variance over the course of a season. What I'm concerned with are the free throws. So it looked like he was going to be a plus 70% free throw shooter, which for a guard is not great.
Yeah.
But it means
for RJ, best in his career.
Exactly. Not best in his career, best as a Raptor.
Yeah.
He was actually good with the Knicks once upon a time. I think it was like 78% or something like that. But he was at 73% the first 9 games of the season. So everybody was like, "Oh, good, he's learned to shoot the free throw."
Yeah.
But then now it's regressed. And he's also missing at the rim a lot. Like, he was like really good in terms of his efficiency at the first 9 games of the season. I think he was like shooting close to 60% on 2-point field goals. Now he's at 52% 2-point field goals. And I feel like a lot of that is missing layups. His push shot I think he's going to that more often. And then coupling that with the horrible 3-point shooting and the horrible free throw shooting, it's just, he's not looking good.
Yeah.
And then defensively,
defensively it's this, but I think his 3-pointer will work out to like 34% on the season, and his free throw probably creeps up to 64. That's concerning because I think that's falling back to where it was. Anyway, go on. His defense.
Well, his defense, like, there's a classic RJ, which is like fall asleep on help defense and your man is shooting an open shot or getting lost on a screen or getting pushed off on a screen. Like, you can't stay with your man. Yesterday was like a kind of a new type of bad RJ, which was like getting beat off the dribble, like straight line drives. Like, Colin Sexton took him off the dribble. Con Knippel took him off the dribble like multiple times. I just like, if the offense isn't there, like if he's not canning those catch and shoot threes and scoring at the rim and slashing and scoring in transition efficiently, like he becomes a lot less of an exciting player.
Yeah. Like, he's at least keeping up rim pressure, which is something that the offense needs. That's great. But like, I think kind of probably his most concerning or most annoying thing last night, and this is something that him and IQ both struggled with, and the Real Foil points it out, the fast break. RJ and IQ spent a lot of fast break opportunities missing at the rim, blowing our chances on like a 3-on-2 break and stuff, and as the Real Foil says, not feeding Scotty Barnes. It seems like they look him off. When he is feeding everybody else, he rewards everybody else for running the floor, but he never gets rewarded, and it doesn't make any sense. But like last night's game wouldn't have been tight if they had just converted in transition, because they had a lot of transition opportunities. But RJ missed a lot at the rim. IQ missed a bit at the rim.
There seemed to be like a little bit of animosity between Scotty and RJ in those games. So like at the very beginning of the game, I remember RJ like how RJ will do the thing where he'll grab the board and like bring it into his stomach and like kind of like hunch over. He did that like to Scotty. So they were both going up for the rebound, and RJ did that like kind of like the mine.
Give me the board. Yeah.
And Scotty looked kind of pissed off at that. And then in transition, as you said, RJ looked him off and tried to score
Yeah.
like 2-on-1. Scotty was visibly upset there too.
Yeah.
So I used to, like, at the beginning of the season, I was like praising his, and even last season too, when he didn't have an amazing season, I was like, this guy's process on offense is great.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's not resulting in, the most efficient baskets or whatever, he seemed to know when to shoot it, when to pass it, when to drive. He was a good playmaker off of the dribble too.
Yeah.
So I was like constantly saying, like, this guy is like has a really good game sense on the offensive end. And it seems like that has kind of slipped this season, especially last game. I was really disappointed with his offensive process.
Yeah.
So he's got to pick it back up again. Like, I need to see more from him. And you need to see more from him because you were the one who said he's going to make an all-star team this year.
I know. And then somebody that I slandered, Laurie Markkinen, is now scoring like 30 points a game. So
yeah, I know
that prediction is going out the window very quickly. But like in terms of his offensive process, sometimes when players struggle, they kind of start searching, right? And they start kind of mixing it up. And what you really should do is try to just stick to what you're good at.
Exactly.
And just keep going until that works. And it seems like that's not exactly jiving. And like, I don't know, like tensions and stuff between teammates, that kind of happens and it never seems too deep. So I'm not like too concerned with that. But like as Sparkling Harmony points out, a little bit of stat padding can happen. And this happens when players are in like start to get in that contract year. Right.
It's true. He is creeping up on extension territory / the last year of his deal next year. So
something I used to always pay attention to with Gary Trent Jr. was end of game situations when somebody needs to get fouled. He never gives that ball up because he wants to get those extra, and he's a good free throw shooter. So there's some sense to that, right? So there's some sense to that, but you would see him like try to get those extra couple of points, right? Exactly. So I don't know, like the offense works a lot better when RJ is playing that the perfect role that he's been playing.
Yeah, the second banana or third banana or whatever, like the glue guy who gets buckets. Like that was kind of his role. And it seems like he's drifting away from that.
Yeah.
And then the defense.
Yeah,
it's not great.
Yeah,
it's not great.
And it puts a lot more pressure on guys like Scotty and stuff. And I mean, luckily, like Ingram, his best defensive game of the season by far last night. Huge blocks. So like
it seems like they need a guy, like another like perimeter defender, because Scotty, great mid-range and in defensive player.
Yeah.
Jakob Poeltl, good around the bucket defender.
Yeah.
Ingram, same thing. Like his forte that we've come to learn is that he has been a really good interior defender.
Yeah.
And not a great defender on the perimeter.
Yeah.
That's another, like RJ is another one of those guys that kind of adds to that problem rather than solving that problem.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm not sure if right now, I'm not seeing an answer on the team because Jamal Shed is too small.
Yeah.
And I mean, Grady is good, but he's not going to solve that particular problem.
Yeah.
And then like Jacoby Walter is in his second year, he's having kind of a bit of a down year, like the sophomore slump. And then Ochai can't hit a shot, so you can't really start him.
And Mobo fully out of the rotation.
Well, yeah, he's just,
he's great defender, but he's not enough of a two-way player to be worthy of getting minutes on a team that's trying to win, right?
Yeah, like are you really going to bench? Like, I agree that RJ has some flaws as a player, but like benching him for Mobo would be a bridge too far. Exactly. Like that is a little too crazy.
It would honestly really impact the half-court offense, right? Yeah. Which has been excellent so far this year, substantially better than in the year past, right? So like, but you look at a guy like Andrew Wiggins, Dylan Brooks, these kind of guys, like Dylan Brooks is playing fantastic this
Colasso
year.
has a good suggestion here. Keon Ellis.
Yes.
Yeah, Keon
Somebody's
Ellis.
going to steal Keon Ellis, and it has to be us because he
Yeah.
is on a cheap-ass contract. And the Kings seem to be the most fleeceable team in the world.
And
so,
do you see how many points RJ's putting up? They're going to be like, this guy is amazing. Imagine when we add RJ next to DeMar and Zach LaVine.
And Westbrook and
Schroeder. And Schroeder.
Who's been awful this year.
Super team.
Yeah.
Oh, he sucks.
But Westbrook had a good stretch where
yeah.
he was like the same old Westbrook. That was crazy.
Well, Westbrook is like one of the least predictable players in the league.
Yeah.
You expect him to be bad, and he's good.
Yeah.
And then you start to jive with him, and you're like, okay, maybe there's something little going here. And then he goes like 1 for 20 or something, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna stop even trying to guess what this guy's gonna do.
Yeah. But yeah.
Anyway,
the RJ and the.
Okay,
ahead,
sorry.
Yeah.
No. I was going to change the topic, but you finish your thought, and then we'll move on.
The RJ in the first couple of games was playing himself into another contract and playing himself to stay on the team, right? Yeah. Totally, everything's working. These last couple of games, it's pointing towards him getting moved, which I don't want. I like RJ.
Yeah.
But like it's not sustainable if that's what's happening, and you're just leaving so many points on the board, which just can't be done when you're a scorer.
Yeah, absolutely. So we had a good segue going there until you just no, but like, why don't we talk about you want to talk about Scotty's defense?
Yes.
Because I think that Scotty has been unbelievable just in general, like on offense as well, but the defense is kind of his calling card at this point.
Yeah.
And you have a case for him as DPOY. So why don't you hit us up with that?
Yeah, well, I think as of right now, a minimum second team all defense. Like he is, I got to go into my stats here, but in terms of Wemby's starting to miss games now, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be injured. They're starting to change the odds around. Scotty has been a better defender than Evan Mobley. I will die on that hill this season. He has been a better defender than Mobley. Mobley has been largely disappointing for what people expected he would be. Still a great defender, still a good player. Fine, right? But Scotty, in my opinion, has been better. So to drop a few stats now, there was a milestone stat that he just passed in terms of Raptors history, where I think he was like 7 games, whatever, where he passed Vince Carter for most games with, stealing the block, right? That's cool. That's nice, whatever. He's the only player in the NBA with 20 plus blocks and 20 plus steals. Yeah. Remember, he's doing this as a 6'8" wing, right?
Yep.
And everybody else above him is 6'11", 7 centers, right?
Yep.
So he's averaging 1.4 steals, 1.8 blocks. And these are just playmaking stats. Like defensive stats are, you have to take them with a grain of salt, right? But in the last 10 years, only 5 players have had a season where they average that. And that would be Anthony Davis, who did it 3 times, Giannis, Jonathan Isaac, but he only played 34 games, Scotty, and Walker Kessler this year, right? All of those guys, 6'11" centers, 7+ rim protector guys, right? In those 3 times that Anthony Davis did it, he was top 5 in DPOY, voting 2 of those years. He was top 5 in DPOY, made all defense first team and second team at least in all those seasons. Giannis also all defense first team during that season. Jonathan Isaac did not because he only played 34 games. Walker Kessler's only played 5 games so far this year to put up those stats. Scotty is, tripling the amount of games he's played. In terms of advanced type metrics where you're going per 100 possessions, his 2.6 blocks per 100 possessions is 100th percentile in the league, right? Him getting to like 96th percentile in past years, awesome, great. That's a 100th percentile stat. 6.5 deflections per 100, also 100th percentile.
So he's the best.
He's the best in the volume of deflections, the volume of rim protection, and he is a 90th percentile defensive rebounder.
Yeah.
Right. And he's doing all of this on, defensive EPM, I think, is one of the better catch-all stats.
Yeah.
They don't have the live updated stats for it yet, but his projected was that he would only have a 1.5 defensive EPM, and he'd be like the 40th best in the league. Last season, he was the 13th best in the league with a 97th defensive EPM.
Yeah, he was
He's been
insanely
better.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been better this year than he was last year. He's averaging the most blocks in his career. He is like being the most aggressive that he's been in his career. So I would wager, without knowing the stats, that he is better than a 97th percentile defensive NPM player right now. And he's doing it on a winning team. He has
There you
exactly,
go.
which is what matters the most. If they can stick near the top of the conference, I would. The tough part is that the Cavs are going to stick at the top of the conference,
And then
and
Mobley is going to have
and
some.
Mobley has
Yeah.
like awards and all that. As Lucas Brown points out, Chet has also been fantastic, but he playing on a team with other great defenders means that his like counting stats and stuff
Yeah, they're
are
going
a
to go
little
down.
bit.
And also in terms of like what the what's it called? The media is going to see is like, yes, he's good, but he's just a cog in the machine.
Yeah.
That is the OKC. He is not the guy.
Yeah. Do you remember when the Raptors had like the second best defense in the league and got 0 players on the
because they
defensive
were
thing?
all good, and there's just like
exactly right.
But I think the difference there is that like the Raptors' best defender and who was the best defender on those teams was OG Anunoby. And OG Anunoby is a good player, but I feel like he was never like he's not a star player.
Yeah.
The league wants people to care about the product. If you're going to give somebody one of those awards, you want it to be like in a marquee franchise or a player who has big name appeal that can, sell jerseys and whatnot. So maybe they'll pass over an OG Anunoby for another guy who has a bigger name, bigger contract, plays in a more like a fancier market. Whereas I think Scotty is going to he'll challenge for an all-star spot this year. He'll challenge for an all NBA spot this year, probably.
Yeah. And that's where his rarity is in all of this too. Is his actual like volume as an offensive player and his usage. It's very rare to have those kind of defensive stats. Like you're talking about these two-way players like Wemby, Giannis, Jalen Williams hasn't played this year, right? But it's like, so there's a lot of players like that too. Chad has already started to miss a few games. Jalen Williams hasn't played a single game. Some of these players are going to continue missing time and pray that Scotty stays healthy. That'll continue his case, right? Because he's such a defensive playmaker, typically that gets rewarded in a sense. If you look at Jaren Jackson Jr., who was, massive defensive playmaker, very loud. Scotty's extra loud because when he blocks, he screams and he
screams, and it's on Sports Center.
Yeah,
and he just had exactly the game saving block there at the end of the game.
Yeah, the biggest defensive stop of the year so far, I think, in terms of the importance of it, right? Like this is, something that Evan Mobley did, maybe not last year, but where he blocked like Franz at the rim to really seal a game. Those moments are what he needs more of.
Yeah, that's worth like 10 blocks or something like that.
Exactly.
In the minds of the the voting
exactly, right? So I think keep the record up, keep the intensity defensive playmaking up. I think he can challenge for it. And I think he deserves recognition as a defender. I think he's one of the most underrated in terms of his actual output compared to what people actually talk about when they talk about defenders. There is like there are great defenders like Toumani Camara, excellent defender.
Yeah.
He got his flowers so much quicker than somebody like Scotty.
Yeah.
And I think currently he's putting together a better defensive season than Toumani did last year. He's having a better defensive season than Dyson Daniels is this year, but that's because Dyson is getting overtaxed now.
Yeah, he's
as a
the
lead guard
now. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Right. So you see what happens when these other kind of role-playing defenders have to take on more, right?
They're specialists. A lot of the time they are specialists, like a center, like a traditional center. Those guys won, like I remember like before Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
The only non-center that won DPOY was Ron Artest, and he won it twice, but every other player was a center.
Yeah.
And the idea is that like it makes sense, first of all, because most of the time the most important defensive player on the floor is your center.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. But the thing is that those players are specialists. Like Marcus Camby was a specialist. He won DPOY. You know, like a lot of these guys aren't the offensive engine or like an offensive player. They're a guy who stands in the paint all day and blocks shots and grabs rebounds. So
Rudy Gobert is just
exactly.
you know,
That's
the
what
stifle
his
tower.
job is.
Exactly, right? So like if you think about how much
Gary Payton, maybe I screwed something up, but
I could I'm not familiar with it. I wouldn't be surprised if he has, but doesn't really take too much away from the point in the sense that it is typically these guys who are big specialists, and Scotty's doing it all as a 6'8" wing. It's crazy to have his level of rim protection, and not just rim protection, blocking the 3-pointer, which is like a unique stat that he and Matisse Thybulle, a specialist, do really, really well. And he's already had a couple this season, right? And I think like Matisse last year had maybe like 16, 17. And I think I've seen Scotty already have 3 in the first 14 games, right? So who knows?
Yeah, because he's so like he's got quick feet too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just looking at the. So you're correct that Gary Payton won DPOY, but that was in 1995. So that was 30 years ago. Yeah,
good pull though. But yeah,
that's a good pull. Yeah, so my memory is not deceiving me. It was Marcus Smart, and then the last guy. Oh, Kawhi Leonard. Excuse me. He won as a small forward.
Oh, he's kind of good. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Ron Artest won as a small forward in 2003. He only won at one time, so I was wrong there. Everybody else was a center in the past, center or power forward. Like Jaren Jackson Jr., kind of a center on defense. Evan Mobley, ditto, kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, those guys, like you have to be a big basically to win.
Yeah.
Unless you're a very special defensive player.
Yeah. So. Which, Lucas has. Or says that I do think Scotty being seen as more of a wing than a true big hurts his DPOY case, even though he protects the rim like one. Potentially, it's tough because like you got to wonder what the media sees. Typically, they seem to have like a lag of a year on what they respect and honor, right? So Scotty could get flowers this year, but still not win it because they're delaying him, and then they award somebody like Dyson Daniels or just Evan Mobley again, right? I think they're hoping and counting for Wemby to get back so they can just give it to him because
the 65 game threshold.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Scotty Barnes, I think I'd definitely be satisfied with the first team all defense selection with him. And I think he deserves it. He's incredible on that end.
Yeah.
How about we do a good segue this time? Because we've lacked good segues. Why don't we talk about another good interior defender on the Toronto Raptors, one guy that I have been trying to give flowers to on social media and my videos and whatnot, Brandon Ingram. So Brandon Ingram's interior defense and his ability to help out around the rim has been a big surprise for me because I didn't see this coming. Yesterday was obviously a huge game for him in that regard. He got 5 stocks in last night's game, 3 blocks, 2 steals. But even before that, I was talking about him as a guy who is like really helping out more than I thought he would around the rim. With his length, like he just gets into the paint. He's got long arms and good anticipation, and he is trying to help. And I think maybe the thing is that everybody seems to be pitching in and trying to help out a little bit more than you would usually think on a team. And I think he's just getting kind of caught up into the what the Raptors are trying to do. So super satisfied with his play as an interior defender. What have you seen from him on that end? Do you share my thoughts on him as an interior defender?
I do. The buy-in is there, which is great, which was like the question. It was like, oh, will he buy into this? And his kind of like recovery in there. And what he's been really good at is those kind of over the top blocks where he's almost behind the players, which is like, as a wing, kind of the more position he'll be in, he's not really going to be directly under the basket trying to contest as much. And he's been really good at that and not fouling as he does so.
Yeah.
So that's been pretty awesome to see. And the Raptors need that help of the rim protection. So pretty sweet that you've got these kind of 2 guys, again, high offensive load that he's taking, and being able to commit on the defensive end, pretty huge, pretty great, because they're trying to let Yak is coming back from his injury. He's looking a lot more solid as he goes and everything. Still not an amazing rim protector.
No.
Decent, serviceable, but not making plays.
He's like a positional defender. He
exactly.
kind of like Marcus All was better than him defensively, but similar idea. You just kind of move your body into the way of the person and then make them shoot over top of you. But what I've noticed is that like he's not going to be like, you can't play him at center. Like he's too short and he's too thin and frail. So you can't do that. But one of the things that I've noticed is that when there's a guard that gets into the paint, that's kind of where a player like him can really help, because guards are, they're smaller too. They're going to be bothered by length, not necessarily by size. Where if you get another, like a forward in the paint, they're going to maybe be able to push Brandon Ingram out of the way. If you get a center inside, then unless it's like him coming from behind to block it like he did yesterday, they're just going to bulldoze through him. But guards, they can't do that. They're going to get into the sort of the danger zone among the trees, and then that length that he has where he puts his hands up and sort of puts them in over top of the guard, that's going to be very difficult for them to score. That's where I've seen him have a lot of success. Also, I've seen him using his length to break up either inside out passes, so passes from the post out, or post feeds, like from the outside in. That's another way that like long arm defenders can really impact a defense, is by gumming up those passing lanes with the length. And that is like really helpful, because he is not a fast player. He's slow.
He doesn't slide those feet too fast, that's for sure, right? And he mentioned that he's trying to get his burst back after the ankle injury. Even like last night, where he looked like, he had 2 poster dunks. He really looked a lot more explosive. He said it's not back yet, but it's getting there, right? So, there's probably a bit quicker he can get, but at the same time, there will be kind of a ceiling on that. It's not going to be a
forte. It gets to the realm of acceptable. But you're not going to be wanting to put him on like premier offensive players who can dribble drive. What you're going to want to do is have him kind of playing in the dunkers, like where on offense, where the dunker spot would be, like between the paint and the 3-point line, kind of guarding the guy in the corner so that he can peel off and help inside if needed. So I've been happy with that. And I'll just throw like a couple of stats out at you. He's averaging a career high in terms of blocks and steals per game this season. So just like a little titch more than he has in any of his other seasons. And that's per 36 as well. So he's playing fewer minutes than usual this season. And he's getting more steals and blocks, but it's more also just kind of about the process as well. It's not necessarily about the counting stats. That's nice and all, but like he is, the length inside has been a lot better than I expected. So
and it's like, it's interesting to see when a player moves from one team to another, where you're like, how many of their faults is related to system and coaching and all this? Because some coaches seem to just not ask scorers or premium players to buy into defense and do much on defense, right? It's kind of like, whatever. Whereas other teams like, was it the Magic, Jamal Mosley, obviously their offense is not well coached, but their defense is well coached. And like they fine players when they are lazy on defense. They keep track of it. They're like, hey, you didn't rotate, you didn't whatever. And they like hold them accountable, and they hold them accountable across the board for all their players. So interesting. I wonder how much the Raptors coaching is trying to hold players accountable, or if it's just a culture thing, whereas you see everybody else pulling on the rope, that you're bought in, right? They talk about...
Sorry to cut you off, but there is another factor here, is that his workload on offense has gone down. So like he's taking fewer shots than he usually does.
Right.
So that could be a factor there as well. Like he's just not being asked to carry his, and a lot of the time, like one thing I've noticed is his role here is a little different, not just the shooting.
Mhm.
So in New Orleans, he ran a lot of the pick and roll. So
Right.
he would be the high pick and roll ball handler. And as a result, that is like a lot more work.
Yeah.
Like he is spotting up a lot more here. They have him come off screens and do that kind of stuff, but he doesn't actually have to have the all of the bumping and grinding
Yep.
and pushing and jostling and handling the ball and the workload there. So maybe they're like, take it a little bit easier on offense and give us a little bit more on defense. And he's averaging, I just took a look here. It's not a career high in terms of rebounds, but it's his best rebounding mark since his MIP season. So his most improved player season. He's averaging 6 boards per game this year. So, and fewer assists to kind of drive home the point that he's not the primary creator on the Toronto Raptors like he was with the Pelicans, where he was like more of the guy who is steering the ship. So that's kind of an interesting thing to think about is like how players are used in different situations.
Yeah, exactly.
In any case, that we've kind of, unless you want to talk about something else, I think we've reached the end of our list here, and we're right around an hour. So we've paced ourselves almost perfectly. Yeah, I think this was a pretty good episode. I am super happy with what the Raptors are doing. Hopefully next week when we come at you, we will have more good news to report, because when the team is humming, when everything is going right, when everybody's buying in, the ball is rolling down the hill, everything seems a little easier. And that goes for covering the team too. I'll tell you right now that making the videos and being able to talk about all the good stuff, it lifts my spirits for sure. I making these videos is a lot easier. So
yeah, because first things first, we're fans, right? Like
yeah,
we're as bought in as everybody else, and it's like I try to always find the sunshine even when it's down, but there's such a big difference when it's like, oh, I've got actually good stats to cite here. I've got positives to talk about it. It's great. Like we don't want to make a video being like, oh, this guy actually sucks. I think he probably doesn't work, yada, 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 right? No, it's really good to see things work out. So yeah.
Absolutely. I am super jazzed, super pumped. We're going to keep coming at you with all sorts of content. So stay tuned on social media. If you're on Twitter, just look for updates. We'll keep you guys informed when the streams go live, when videos are going live, all of that good stuff. If you want to pitch in on Patreon, help us out, buy us a cup of coffee, get some cool merch, do all of that fun stuff. And as always, thank you for tuning into Raptors Report, your source for in-depth Raptors content. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Take care.